Well, hello, everyone, and we're getting an echo again. Um, you may want
Yeah,
to,
maybe I don't know if I can actually close them.
well, Anita, you could just kind of get out,
I think.
basically.
Okay,
Yeah, we are remote coming here today, so Anita is right in the room with me, and I think we're getting some crosstalk. There we go. Very good. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is the third and final installment of the new product development series. And today we're going to be focusing on commercialization of your idea. Now, just a caveat, I am not a salesperson and I am not an expert in actual executing a lot of these concepts, but I can share with you many of the concepts that we run across daily in all of our efforts here at SCORE. Maybe we can provide some ideas to you and ultimately provide a pathway for moving forward. So just real briefly, just run through some SCORE slides. We are driving small business through our efforts here at SCORE, and our efforts are free. We do not charge anyone for our services, and we are a division of the SBA. Excuse me. We started a number of new businesses within the last year, as you can see there. Some of you may have already seen these slides as we've had two other sessions in the intro with these slides. So bear with me as we just wrap up here. We were the benefactors of receiving the 2022 chapter of the 2022 chapter of the year, and we're very proud of that. So lastly, for those of you who have not found a mentor yet, please go to our landing page, and Cleveland.score certainly has the opportunity to find a mentor and join with somebody who can show you the pathway forward with your idea. So let's talk about the commercialization aspect. Get right down to it. What I've done there in the first slide is just give you some logos of some folks that we've mentored, and we've brought their products to market, and they are in the process of commercializing, and we're quite proud of our track record in moving ideas from concept through development to actual commercialization. So what I want to talk about is the overall theme of the goal of every startup is to have your competition simply recognize you as a problem. I have some examples there. It doesn't matter if you're working for Mr. Coffee. You found one morning the people from Keurig knocking at your door saying, "Here we are. We are going to compete in your market space, and we're going to take market share." If you look at the top right-hand corner, the newest, latest, and greatest battle right now that's occurring is in the personal care market between Secret and this company that has developed a 72-hour whole body deodorant. I'm sure you've seen the lady on TV. I believe the product is named Mando, and they are fighting head to head in claims, in price, because Secret recognizes her, this entrepreneur startup, as a competitor taking market share from Secret Corporation, really out of nowhere. And this is where you want to be. You want to be in a position where you can be a pain in the neck to the corporate Fortune 500 or the larger company that you're competing with. So today we're going to cover sales, whether it be B2B and B2C. They are very different. business to consumer and business to business. We are in the new economy now, and each one has its own idiosyncrasies. We're going to talk about the value proposition and how important this is. If you can develop a powerful value proposition that's compelling, short, to the point, you're going to gain the attention of your customer. We'll talk about the QVC Home Shopping Network playbook. If you can remember anything from today's presentation, there are 3 rules that I want to impart to you that are kind of axioms for any new product launch. And fourthly, creating a sustainable business. How do I inexpensively build a brand? And that's probably the number one issue that a SCORE mentor would face. I don't have a lot of money. Excuse me, I don't have a lot of money, but I want to build my brand and I want to create awareness and recognition for the company that I have. And lastly, some of you folks may not be really motivated to run a company, but you have a lot of ideas and you may want to license your idea. And we'll talk about that and some of the best ways to do that. Okay, so the value proposition. At this point in your development, in the stage that we're at right now, your website should be completed, and you have developed that powerful value proposition. Here is my favorite. Anyone, anywhere can start a business. There are 6 words there that are as compelling and as powerful as you can possibly imagine. The folks at Shopify really understood that they have one and only platform to allow anybody that has a website and a physical product or a service for that matter to start a business and start to sell the product. A product or a company that I showed you in our first slide was a company mentored by SCORE, 2020-21 time period. And what they do is they have developed a fabric sensor that measures the electrolytes in your sweat. Literally, as you sweat, the sodium, potassium, etc., can be measured. And as a result of that, this can tell you and give you a personalized output for your wellness and performance as an athlete. These folks are currently residing in a lab and office at Cleveland State University, and they are scaling their way to success. So let's talk about QVC and HSN and why they are so successful in bringing products to market. Excuse me. Okay. Number 1, can you explain in 1 sentence why you are better or improves the life or experience of the user? This is a value proposition, or it can be your 11-second elevator speech. Value proposition differing from the 11-second elevator speech in that the value proposition is your last, I don't want to say it, your last chance to really impress someone. I mean, that sounds kind of clumsy, but the value proposition is you want to have on your website. The 11-second elevator speech is maybe something that you want to verbally tell someone. So again, in once you have to reduce your explanation down to 1 sentence. Secondly, it's your reason to believe. It's your product technology. It's your secret sauce. It's like, I know you're good, but tell me why you're good. Give me confidence that if I buy your product or service, that your technology or your insight or your special way of doing things is going to benefit me better or lower my price than your competition. And lastly, probably the most powerful of the 3 is the wow demonstration. If you can visually show performance, why you are better than anyone else, that usually sells the product and saves the day. If you look to your left there, somebody is actually cleaning the floor on a home shopping network demonstration, and they're showing that the side that our product is cleaning is better or more efficient in cleaning than the competition. So that wow demonstration is so important because we process information visually as human beings, and that usually is the decision, gives you the decision-making power to buy the product or not buy it. So here are some examples. Apple Computer, their 11-second intro or their value proposition for any iPhone launch is probably the best in the business. Go to YouTube and dial up Apple Computer, iPhone 15 launch, and you'll see impactful value propositions hitting you immediately. The wow demonstration, we've all seen Flex Seal on TV, the guy in the boat, the guy breaking the glass, the guy has water coming everywhere. Flex Seal saves the day. Plexiderm the same way. They apply it to someone with wrinkles and saggy eyes. The next thing you know, they are improved 100%. Then the reason to believe example, of course, everyone uses is with Intel Inside. You buy a computer and it's going to be a good computer. The hardware and software is solid simply because Intel is telling you they have a Pentium processor inside. All right, so as you recall last time, some of you, I invented a new soap. And I called my company Dave's Specialty Soap Company. My soap company uses exotic Indian fragrances from South Asia to give you a luxury, foamy experience as you wash your hands. As I say, my value proposition is to experience the sense of South Asia. Now, my choices. I want to commercialize my product. My choices are I could do B2B. I could sell my product only to restaurants, only to spas, or high-end establishments that are looking for a luxury experience. I could go B2C retail, but I would be competing with everyone else on the shelf. And I'm not gonna, and I don't have that highlighted there, so I'm kind of ignore brick and mortar. But I like specialty niche. I like e-commerce. Specialty niche would be a boutique, a health and beauty. Excuse me. And e-commerce, of course, would be anything from Amazon all the way down to selling it on my own website. So the question I get all the time is, well, I understand that, Dave, but what would be my best channel? Is e-commerce better than a health and beauty store? The response that I would give you is take the low-hanging fruit. If you can find sales immediately and just focus on the easiest path to market versus doing the analysis, trying to develop relationships, going to trade shows, that's all good. You're going to have to do that. Excuse me. But if you can find sales immediately and generate revenue, I know this sounds pretty easy and pretty common sense, but the power of developing revenue immediately allows you access to additional capital quicker than if you don't have revenue. So, take that for, as a path going forward hint. Your tactics as a chief salesperson, every owner, every CEO has to be the chief salesperson. So you can hire a sales team, or you can become the one and only sales team. You can sell to a distributor. Selling to a distributor is pretty good. They will buy volumes of inventory, put it in their warehouse, and we'll talk about that. Or I can use a commissioned rep agency. These folks will not buy your inventory, but they will hook you up with somebody pretty quickly. Now, usually pay for that as a commission. And the e-commerce direct to customer, we'll talk about that. And lastly, licensing. So, um, so the e-commerce or beginning e-commerce path to market. I say, building your own website and selling the product on your own website probably is the most beneficial and rewarding right off the bat. You don't have any sales to do. It's just simply getting your name out in front of people through SEO and through the ability to communicate your value proposition through your company. The great part about this is you can learn from your customers and get 5-star reviews. And the 5-star review is absolutely essential into moving forward with your sales into retail or any environment where folks have wider distribution nationally or regionally. As I say, you can use your reviews as a platform for expansion and regionally or nationally. I know folks who are creating their own YouTube community. You can sell product on YouTube. If you have a very visual product to demonstrate, it's a piece of cake to get onto YouTube and to begin sales through demonstrations. And Amazon. Well, I could talk about Amazon for about an hour here. It is something that you have to consider and budget for. The best advice is to hire an Amazon consultant. It is not as easy as you think. It is quite complicated, actually. As an example, here is, oops, how do I? Oh, there we go. Here's an example. Here's the cost structure of a company that I currently advise. As you can see, there are a number of costs there. This is a P&L from May of last year. He did about $4,000 in about a week here, and the shipping, the fees, the costs, the rebates, etc. They all add up, and about 30% of what you sell on Amazon goes directly to Amazon in terms of fees.
Dave, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we can't see your slides.
Oh, really?
No.
Did that just happen, or has it been like that?
That I don't know.
Here.
Let me see. Maybe one of the clients can tell us. Let me see.
Because I am sharing.
Yeah. Well, it's not, I can't see your slides now.
Because it's telling me I am screen sharing. So you should be seeing something.
Oh, the slides they said were showing in a thumbnail. Okay, I don't know if I can do anything. There you go.
You see it now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so
you might want to go back a couple slides. Well, right. I think right there.
Okay, I left off at this point,
Yeah.
and we just discussed that. So what I want to talk about is the importance of us content. When you develop content, um, uh, it is important that it is hooked to any type of social media or website that you develop, um, especially in the case of Amazon. Everything is connected, and and again, this costs some money for you to develop this. Unfortunately, I'm not going to talk about this at this point, but somebody who is specifically engaged with Amazon could do the best job here. So let's move on. And okay, so so how about, let's say that we have developed, here's an idea possibly that um, um, would fit niche or specialty products. Like for example, if you've developed a squirrel-proof bird feeder, and this is just one example, what I want to do here is give you the idea that there are many specialty websites out there that are geared directly to your product or service. Don't think of Amazon or Etsy as being the be all and end all. This particular example is, this is a website that sells specifically bird feeders, that's called woodlink.com. There's no reason why that you couldn't contact any one of these folks and get your product on this website as a new product. And it could be anything from fishing lures to school supplies to bird feeders. So don't ignore the specialty websites. As I said, there are some newer platforms out there that compete with eBay, Amazon, and Etsy, for example. These folks have been established for decades, literally at this point. But the newer platforms, you may want to look at range.com. These are retail buyers who are searching and surfing the internet, looking for new ideas. Jet, these folks believe they can challenge Amazon. And Temu, for example, is a Chinese website. Also, they want to challenge Amazon. Um, let's talk about brand building. So a brand is a tangible asset that is economically valued. Now I have on the right side a spreadsheet or a balance sheet. Please understand that a brand is worth something. The accountants call it, they have a line item that's called goodwill or brand equity. So when you develop a brand and you want to sell your product or sell your company, um, that becomes part of your assets. So that's the importance of brand building. It is literally something that has value and can be sold as part of the sale of your company. How do I build a brand inexpensively? Now, I had mentioned this earlier in the presentation that that's probably one of the top questions people ask and need guidance on. There are a number of categories up here, whether it be pets, sports and leisure, personal care and cosmetics, food service, senior citizens. Each one of them have their own challenges and pathways to building a brand. The most expensive one, by the way, is personal care and cosmetics. I guarantee you that everybody I have ever talked to involved in developing a personal care or cosmetic product, their number one complaint is how much money it takes. Just simply in developing anything, whether it be marketing collateral or our social media, or just simply attending a trade show. All of it is, that category sucks money up like you wouldn't believe. Food service, restaurants, probably a little bit more amenable to those who don't have a lot of money. You can get a line of credit from a bank. developing your restaurant or your food service business. Products for senior citizens. That senior citizens market is fairly easy to get into and does not require a lot of money up front in terms of advertising, in terms of networking and trade shows. However, it is quite competitive. So these are some of the categories that we can talk about. Number one, probably marketing 101. Each one of these have their own value proposition. Here we go. Volvo competes with Jeep. Volvo's telling safety. Jeep is communicating off-road. The first step in any brand development is to claim that territory. Crest fights Colgate every day at the shelf, but Crest is fighting cavities. Colgate is telling you that buy our product and you will have whiter teeth. Best bang for the buck, I think, is getting on QVC or HSN, because they will work with you to develop your marketing message, and it's on TV. So you are killing two birds with one stone here. It's great for results-oriented products, cleaning, beauty, fashion, tools, jewelry, anything that you can show a before and after. I've had products on QVC for many, many years, whether it be my experience in the automotive side with Pennzoil or on the cleaning side with Scott Fetzer. Excuse me. Next, also, they love small U.S.-based entrepreneurs. It's the American success story. That's what drives their viewership. The downside is they have high margin needs. So as we talked about in our last presentation, gross margins of 50-55% is probably their bare minimums that they would look at. They love to have gross margins up in the 80s and 90s. It's simple. Fill out the website application and you will be contacted. I feel that is the highest brand impact or highest impact for brand building for a B2C, business to consumer company. And again, use the playbook because they will ask you those three things that we talked about. When you sit down in that conference room, be prepared to give them a 20-minute presentation on those three items. An example is, they love to have, as I said, work with small consumers, or I'm sorry, small companies in each category, whether it be coffee, whether it be fragrances, whether it be footwear. These are some of the companies there on the left that have used QVC and allow them QVC to say, this is our next big find. This is our new company that we have and we are promoting. For B2B entrepreneurs, okay, we just talked about B2C. Let's talk about B2B. So you really have two pathways here. You could use a distributor or you can use a manufacturing. And for some of you who don't know the differences, a distributor will have a number of products that they sell. They need a reason to sell your product. Distributors like easy, high volume rather than work for a higher margin. Because they have salesmen on the road, they want a quick, easy sales call that they can make some easy money. You have to train them. Usually training a group is more difficult. I have found through my experiences, you're not working one-on-one with anybody. You're working with maybe 5 or 6 salesmen. The good news is they will purchase your product in large volumes and they'll inventory it. So they will go out and knock on the doors. A manufacturer's rep, often more relationship driven with any of the folks who are purchasing the product. They have spent years nurturing and growing special relationships that they will share with you. Now, you're going to pay for this, of course, with a rep commission. They may have fewer customers per territory than a distributor. They will only provide a business arrangement, right? So you ship to your customer. You just simply use them as a contact for the customer. Commission reps for slower moving goods and or a low price on your product. They'll take a 10 to 20% commission. For faster moving and or higher price, it could be low as 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10%. Trade shows, great for B2B or B2C businesses. A 2 to 3 day trade show may cost you about $6,000 to $8,000, but I'll tell you, it's worth it because you're going to be meeting customers. You're going to be meeting folks who want to buy your product and have it shipped as quickly as they can get it in. They will write orders right there at the show in some instances. And if you want to license your product, those are the decision makers. Those are the folks walking the show. So let's talk about licensing. These are the folks who have the ideas. They have more than one idea. They don't want the responsibility of starting and running a company. And I've run across many of these folks that I deal with. And it's quite exciting having all of their ideas, having to find paths to market for them. But, licensing a product is quite a bit different than selling. Number one, you must have a patent. The patent is something that you sell. It is the tangible asset that your company has that another company will pay you for. Step one in getting that patent is, or beginning this process is to apply for a provisional patent, as we talked about in our last presentation. There are legal fees plus application. It's about $1,000, maybe $1,500. It lasts only 1 year, the provisional patent, but it gives you the opportunity to knock on a number of doors and get the meeting with a potential company that will buy your product patent, and then you can make that transaction. And legally, it's patent pending. Step two, once you have the provisional patent, you want to outline your list of companies that you've done, that you've simply gone on Google and said, well, who buys, let's say I want to license my technology for my new soap. I have a formula, I have a patented formula that Dave's soap company has, and I feel that I can license this to a larger personal care company. I'm going to seek out number 2 or 3 in the market, not number 1. You have to remember, number 2 or 3 wants to be number 1, and they want a new idea. They want something that will give them the edge in the marketplace. I'm going to find somebody who has a large distribution, somebody who really is innovative and has come out with other newer products. And, my number 1 piece of advice is, don't be shy. You are having to contact folks who could be senior vice presidents or presidents of the company. Don't be shy because they want to talk to you. Okay, so let's talk about finding the right company. And when I want to license a product or an idea or a product, I have to remember that not every company will practice something called open innovation. Some companies just don't want to talk to me because they feel that their ideas are better and they don't have to hassle and spending the money in licensing a product that they didn't invent. Timing is important in approaching any company. Crowded competitive industries are best because they're trying to one-up each other. They want the latest and greatest ideas. So, soap is a competitive, crowded industry. So I would find maybe 2 or 3 companies there that would be maybe interested in my idea. You're going to be cold calling, and senior level marketing folks probably are the best target. You do not want to go to R&D or the lab guys or the design people. You do not want to go to sales because they aren't interested in the future. They're interested in the current. Marketing people are interested in the future. And those are the folks most amenable to listening to new ideas. The trade show environment, as we talked about previous slide, works great because it is where the decision makers are. If there is something new in the industry or the category, they want to know about it. You have to convince them that you are the expert, and that's pretty easy to do, right? But think about those your technology, your ability to understand the competition, and you want to lower their risk. That's the best way to get entry into their a domain, is to tell them that you're the expert and convince them that you can lower their risk. Everybody asks me the best licensing deal. What is the best way to license a product, and how can I maximize my return on investment? Well, there is no standard deal. There's anything is a good deal that you can negotiate and walk away with in terms of a percentage of the sales. So that's about all I have in this segment. Please look at our landing page here. There are folks who are expert in commercializing certain aspects, certain niches, for example, e-commerce. There are sales experts in our Cleveland SCORE office, so please take time to find a mentor, and hope to see you at some point. But if there are any questions or clarifications that you would like, just put it in the Q&A, or you can ask a question now.
Okay, let's see, can a business in Cincinnati get a mentor? I guess the answer to that would be the Cincinnati SCORE has a lot of mentors as well. But if there's nobody in the Cincinnati chapter who can mentor you, they can always ask for a co-mentor in the Cleveland office who has that skill. Or again, you can ask for a mentor in the Cleveland office if you want. So yes, you can definitely get a mentor. And as Dave said, there are a number of mentors in Cleveland that can help you with the new product development, with the marketing, various aspects. So please feel free to go and sign up for a mentor. And I don't see any other questions. So I guess we'll come back to our next session. We've got a webinar, let's see, tomorrow maybe, which is our Simple SEP series. So we look forward to seeing you again. And Dave, thank you so much for doing this presentation. And we'll see you